Hey Aaron, how's it going?
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Last Epoch once again. Mike, one of the senior developers at 11th Hour Games, held his normal Friday Q&A live stream on Twitch, which means I get to bring you Dev Chat 87. As always, Mike answered lots of great questions from the community and gave us 3 leaks for this stream. And we're going to start off Dev Chat 87 right now. Perry the Pig posted an article or posted a video on sub skills, and Mike is going to give us a little explanation on that right now.
So there's a distinct rule, a clearly defined a rule that we have clearly defined to ourselves that has not been communicated well, which defines what will be passed on and what won't be passed on. The confusion came from when I answered a question wrong on the Acid channel, which does happen because I'm unbelievably far from perfect. And so here's the way the rules work. If the ability being triggered is an ability that shows up in this screen here, it will not receive the stuff from the tree. Okay, it will just get used as though you had used the ability, and it'll use its own tree. If you don't have anything in its own tree, it's just a basic version of the skill. The exception to this, there's 3 exceptions I'm going to talk about here. The exceptions to this first rule is black hole and using the meteor skill. So the meteor used from black hole is a generic meteor. Let's just call it comet for now instead. Okay, so black hole using comet is not the same as using meteor, so that's an exception there.
I wish it did though. Go on.
The second rule is that any modifiers which are conditional on the opponent's status. So right now you see, like, I have ignite on this target. Woo! I'm out of potions. This is bad. I'm gonna die. Yep,
he is gonna die. I seen it.
Okay, so if you have something that's conditional on the status of your opponent, for example, like more damage to ignited enemies. So if I had something that says flurry deals more damage to, if I had something that says flurry deals more damage to ignited enemies, and flurry was proccing energy wave. Energy wave. Is this energy wave? Kinetic burst? Yeah, kinetic burst. The code version of this is called energy wave, not kinetic burst. Anyways, so if there's something on here that says like more damage to ignited enemies, because that is checking the condition of the opponent's status, so it's saying because the enemy is ignited, it's going to do more damage, that does not get passed on to subskills. So kinetic burst would not get the damage boost from more damage to ignited enemies. Only flurry would get that. If it said flurry does more damage while you are at high health, conditional on your own status, or more damage per shadow that exists, conditional on your own status, the number of shadows that you have, those do get passed on. So conditionals based on your opponent's status do not get passed on to subskills. The two exceptions for this. Ooh, hey, look at that! I was talking about making the build with this. This is great. I can't do it on this character though, but yeah. The exceptions to this are crap, it's in that post. Static orb and javelin. The javelin, the split, the rain where it comes down and it splits out like Divine Fury style. That does inherit enemy conditional stats, and static orb does one of them as well. It's in that link I just posted a little while ago, the Reddit link. So that's the rules and the exceptions as they are right now. Now the question that I think you're asking is, how's it going to change going forward? Or is it going to change going forward? Because you don't like this. Fair enough. I think it's probably frustrating to deal with too. And ideally there would be a hard, fast, systematic rule that would enforce this. The reason it's like this is every time we do an enemy target conditional stat, we have to write specific code for that specific skill and that specific condition. And if it's anything that's being passed on to a sub skill needs to go into each skill gets something called a mutator, and it changes how that skill works when you use it based on what nodes you have selected. And lots of sub skills don't have mutators. So for example, here, let's use Kinetic Burst again. Kinetic Burst does not have a mutator that changes it because there's nothing that affects it that needs to be manually adjusted for that ability. If there was, I don't even know if there is a target conditional thing in Flurry. I don't think there is. Yeah, I don't think there is. Regardless, if we wanted to, we'd have to make a mutator, attach it to Flurry when it gets used, so Flurry would be able to modify Kinetic Burst when Flurry uses Kinetic Burst. Which we can do, and which is why the two exceptions that I mentioned, that's what they do. When we were making them, we manually went in and adjusted those. Getting some cool stuff here.
Okay. I'm going to kill it right there. Dev chat over. No, I'm just kidding. I wanted Mike to elaborate on this because sub-skills have been a hot topic in the LE community since Perry made that video. Does this answer suffice? Are you happy? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, whether you love or hate Diablo, you probably give them credit for their cutscenes and their cinematics. They seriously look unbelievable, which likely led to this question.
Hey, will there be any storytelling cutscenes in the game? Oh yeah, definitely. We are a lot of that stuff's going to come in 1.0. We are working on some cutscenes. We'll be seeing. We're also revamping the opening cutscenes because right now they're all character based, and they kind of give you like a little hint into the world, but none of them really talk about like what's happening. Why are you like? Why do you have to do this thing? We're all kind of revamping the start of the game as a whole. But yeah, there are changes to and improvements coming to story presentation, as we've seen already. 0.9 had a whole bunch of those, and future patches will have even more.
Awesome. Straight to empowered monos. I like the sound of that.
Is there plans to make it where we don't have to do normal monoliths on every tune, so we can do empowered right away if we wanted? There are no plans at the moment to change that. I know there's been a lot of feedback on the topic recently. I do have this topic scheduled as a discussion topic for Tuesday's game design meeting. So we'll give it a chat and see what we have to say about it, but there's no plans on it right now.
I accept that response. I am totally fine with first tune. So 090, everybody has to start fresh. We all have to do our first character. Hey, you got to play through the campaign. Hey, you got to play through normal monos to get to empowered. That's fine. But when it comes to alts, once you've already experienced all that, give us a shortcut. I know we could jump through the dungeons. I just wish we had a little more. I get asked this question all the time. Enjoy.
Will pets ever pick up materials for you? Like the ones you earn in-game, where it's possible to auto pick up for them? We have no plans to change the material pickup system at the moment. I mean, like copy and paste the answer I just said for the last question, I guess. There's nothing scheduled for that one though, but
okay, listen. I've been covering this game for over 3 years now, probably over 3.5 years. I've heard this question thousands of times. I'm probably going to thousands of times. I feel like a happy median between the players and EHG is that the amount of clicks that require to pick up everything seems like too many. What if shards, crafting materials, instead of clicking on them, you ran over them and they vacuumed up? And then they still went into your inventory and you still had to transfer them. I feel like that is a happy on both sides, because clicking over and over again on every single shard, it just feels like too much. That's not pets picking them up. That's you picking them up, but you still have to walk over them. And that still, you're still slowed down because a lot of times the people die behind you, the enemies die behind you. So it will not make the game that much faster. We have now got to the spoiler section of DevChat 87. Spoiler number 1. Mike, go.
It's the Mage T60 armor set.
Mage tier 60 armor set. Oh, look, it's the king. Royalty.
Drink lots of water. Will there be any updates to the endgame in the next patch? I can't guarantee anything yet. There are things on the list that we hope to get in for next patch. I mean, like 0.91. I say next patch. I'm not talking about hotfixes. There are elements for updating some endgame systems that we have planned for 0.91.
I like the fur going up.
Nothing big, but there's some stuff, some little things we have planned. I don't know if it'll make it in for 0.91 or the patch after that, but
looks pretty good. If you didn't hear that question in the background, Mike was asked, will there be any endgame updates for 091? And he said there's some tweaks and things going in. Not sure if it's going to go in for 091, but it might. Spoiler number 2.
I'm going to catch up on a couple questions here. Hey, look at this cool thing while I talk. The passive Hawkwings in Beastmaster gives a chance for haste on hit, but doesn't say the length of haste granted. Is all sources default 1 second of haste, even when it's not stated? Default source time for haste is 4 seconds. I think if you
look at this, you got a tree.
No,
my face is in the way.
Game guy,
like a tree
says it.
Growing out of him.
I know you can't see my screen right now. Is haste not here?
Light this guy up.
Haste isn't here. Haste is 4 seconds. My friend didn't release and just didn't get loot. Yeah, so there might be a bug, or it might just be something we overlooked when we were setting it up.
All right, everyone, we have come to our final spoiler of DevChat 87. Mike, thank you for continuing these Friday live streams. The community truly appreciates it. One of the great differentiators of EHG is how much this studio cares and connects with the player base. So thank you. Don't ever change. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow this last spoiler to take out this video and let Mike answer a couple questions in the background as well. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check out the Patreon and all of my build guides in the description. Mike, take it away.
Here is a new enemy. Yeah, this guy's great. The file name was something like slightly void corrupted, and I'm like, slightly? Okay. When do you plan on fixing the broken node and the devouring orb skill tree that we can select it? I didn't know there was one. When we get around to it. Bug reports to the forums. That's how they get fixed. Is there a corruption level the game is balanced around? I think the expectation for like very high-end farming is around 300. Pac-Man was the first RPG, am I right? I would love to hear a fully fledged argument on that one. I think I can get behind it. Talking about patches, are you going to back to the 3-month cycle patches, or will 0.91 be delayed a bit more to first fix all the bugs? It'll be roughly similar cadence to what we had in 0.8x patches. I'm not going to put a number to that. Sorry.